welcome to this week's post-game recap show brought to you by Stanford Mortgage and Stanford Mortgage Studios up in Cameron Park. Listen, what a fantastic victory this last weekend. Week 3, Game 2, right back at the Livermore Park in Folsom, California, where the junior midget team opened up early. First play from scrimmage with a touchdown, unfortunately called back for some untimely penalties, but that's okay. We were pretty much in control the whole game with a few scary moments here and there. Hey, real quick before I finish recapping the game, let's see what a couple of players had to say right after the game and some post-game.
All right, hey, we're here with a couple of athletes who just finished the junior midget game against Vista Del Lago here at the Folsom Field. We don't like this field, but listen, a couple of our standouts today. Mr. Jack Lane, how you doing, Jack?
I'm doing good. Doing very good.
Really? Yeah, I think you hurt the wrist in the game today, didn't you, Jack?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Are you going to be good for next week?
Yes, I'll be well.
To be determined, everyone. We'll come back to that later. Okay, so hey, fantastic day on the offensive line. Mr. Curtis, were those two guys too big for you?
Yeah, Coach.
Are you sure?
Yes, Coach.
They might be bigger next week. Are you okay with that?
Coach.
Yeah, Coach. He says, okay, hey, Mr. Neighbors, our Hank linebacker, also a little banged up early in the game.
Yeah.
What's the deal on the thumb? Are you good to go?
Yeah.
All right, you got back in the game, made a huge tackle late in this football game. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I hit him hard.
That pretty much sums it up. You hit him hard. That's a great job, Mr. Neighbors. All right, number 10, our QB for the day, our whole afternoon. Great job. Probably not a high completion percentage today, huh? We got to work on the receivers. What do you think?
Yeah.
He agrees. He needs some more receivers. We're going to work on that. Absolutely fantastic job rolling out, having a big day, right? Gained a lot of yards on the ground. You ready for next week?
Yes, Coach.
Ponderosa, our opener. Say yes, Coach, one more time.
Yes, Coach.
Okay, good. All right, Mr. Beck. Hey, late in the game, you come up with a big play. Do you remember what it was? You recovered a fumble, right?
Yeah. It was like some big moment.
It was the moment
It was the
right
big
there?
moment of my game today.
All right, you think we could have some big moments next week as well?
Yes, Coach.
All right, I trust we can. Hey, this is just a few interviews with a couple of our athletes from a great victory today, the Junior Trojan Junior Midget Squad. We'll check in with you next week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye!
You guys enjoyed that. We're going to bring the camera and the microphone out onto the field for post-game interviews after each of our games the rest of the season, and we will certainly be rotating all the kids through there, give them a little bit of time in the limelight as they certainly deserve it. Listen, fantastic game. A couple of notables just before the half, scrambling on with no timeouts left as the clock is expiring. Our PAT team, in this case our field goal team, kicked a 31-yard field goal. Yep, you heard that right. A 31-yard field goal by Mr. Jacob Walter. Fantastic job. Fantastic job by that whole unit to get set, get on the field, snap the ball as the time expired. Absolutely fantastic job. Even the officials were talking about that they don't think they've ever seen that age level put a field goal through at 31 yards. Fantastic job by that whole unit. Listen, our running game still stayed on track throughout the whole game. Another repeat against Folsom where we were able to run the ball very, very well due to the blocking of our fullbacks, Mr. Walter, Mr. Lukowski. Fantastic job being done by the offensive line. Can't say enough about the pulling guard of Sam Champlin. Absolutely blowing people up on the edge in our special little pulling plays. Great job, Sam. Defense held tough. Listen, this final score was 25-6, but it came at a little bit of a price. We have some bumps and bruises and some injuries we've got to deal with. We may be down an athlete or two for this upcoming contest against Ponderosa, our first home game. So this week in practice, we will be looking to move some players around, give some other players looks in different positions, so that if we have any additional injuries, we will be prepared to slide a different athlete somewhere else differently around the field. So this week is a great opportunity for lots of kids to maybe try something a little new. Keep your eye and ear on that this week in practice because there will be some changes being made. Regarding Ponderosa, it is our first home game. For those of you that don't know, Ponderosa is historically our organization's biggest rival. So to get them for our first home game is absolutely fantastic. We're looking forward to it. Should be a great contest. The schedule starting this next week starts getting very, very tough for us. Ponderosa, Oakmont, and then back at home for our second home game against Whitney. All the players will tell you I talk a lot about Whitney because we really want to make a statement and show up for that home game ready to go. Guys, I can't thank you enough for your support. Both the athletes are doing a fantastic job. Boys, keep up the great work. Parents, continue the cheering and yelling and screaming and everything that we tell the boys to do on the field, we want you doing in the stands. So keep up the great work. And I will talk to you guys next week on next week's postgame show or practice. We're throwing